What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. And we're back with a reaction for you guys. Do me a favor, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me hit my goal. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subs by the spring. It's getting close and I ain't, so help your boy out. Guys, I'm back with It's Complicated. As soon as I saw this title, I had to do it. Sorry I took last week off, had a lot going on. This one's called Toxic Masculinity. Need I say more? Let's just get right into what we're talking about.
What is the difference between masculine and feminine energy?
I feel like feminine energy is like, just, it relates back to like, I feel like old times, like womenish roles and like the feminine energy that go along with that. Like men should, in my opinion, open the door and just like feminine energy, and masculine energy is more of like the, not in control, but just like the leader of the relationship, in my opinion. So
I would say bravado. It's like taking leadership in a role, being in charge of situations. And then feminine energy, I would say it's more like, not entirely, but being more submissive, being led.
Not quite aggressive, but more like go-gettery. Whereas feminine energy tends to always be seen as a more caretakery.
I don't know, I feel like super safe and a little bit more like,
yeah, I feel safer
confident.
around masculinity.
Masculine energy.
Femininity is more like happy.
We're happier.
Does a man have to be masculine in order to attract a woman?
for me, yes. Yes.
Does a woman need to be feminine in order to attract a man?
Yes, for me, yes.
Do you think women are more attracted to masculine or feminine men?
Masculine.
I believe more masculine.
You just feel safe.
I feel safe.
Honestly, and it's just hot.
It's hot.
Definitely more attracted to masculine.
What do you think women find attractive about a man in touch with his masculinity?
How confident he can be, how sure he is of himself. He can lead her, go back to being what I said, leading her in a certain direction, taking charge of certain situations, being protective. It's that whole protect, provide nature.
That he's able to like care for me and like protect me when we're out in public.
He's a provider. He can take care of me, also put in that assertiveness. That's what I like about the masculine energy.
And what's attractive about a man in touch with his femininity?
I feel like they're less likely to see things like me being a breadwinner more as a threat, and they're more likely to see it as like a positive thing and celebrate my success.
I think since it's like so looked down upon, it's like cool to see guys who are in touch with such like feminine parts about themselves.
Why is that?
I don't know, because you just don't see it as an everyday thing. So once you see it, it's just like, okay, he's not scared to go out of his comfort zone for something that's not normalized in this social society.
I would rather my man be a little bit more feminine or sensitive in that tone. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like to use feminine and masculine because I just feel like people should just be who they are. You know what I'm saying? If you're soft, if you're gentle, if you're loving, then it is what it is. And if you go by rough love or tough love or anything, I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody's out there with tough skin for you.
At what point does masculinity become toxic masculinity?
If they're too demanding,
Arrogant.
overwhelming,
Yeah.
egotistical.
I feel like when they're taking over the relationship and it's like unbalanced energy, that's what it is for me.
Yeah, for sure. When it becomes unbalanced and they use that masculine energy as power over you and they become controlling.
I feel like it's when they let that masculinity become their only personality trait and they almost feel disgusted with doing anything that may be considered more feminine.
Hold up. Before they dive deep, I wanted to touch on that, the masculine feminine thing here. So first thing first, if you notice, all of these women, all of them, said they prefer a masculine man. I mean, the one chick said she, likes a guy who's a little bit more sensitive. Here's the thing, when it comes to masculine and feminine energy, okay, men and women can carry both. There's times they exhibit one more than the other, all right? when it comes to a man, you can be a masculine man and still be emotionally aware, still be, be in touch with your emotions enough to be able to understand certain situations and certain things and to be able to take empathy in certain situations and things. But you can be those things without compromising your masculinity. So it's all about striking a balance in a given situation. As a man, I personally believe that a man should carry more masculine energy than feminine energy and vice versa for the woman. But I do think each gender has traits and carries, at times is going to carry the energy of some. Like, there's plenty of guys out there who done seen their dad go out, cut down a tree, fix the car, hit the gym, put up weights, go out, handle the bills, handle the business, and, keep the household in check. And they still cry sometimes. They still get emotional at times. They still understand things. They're sweet to their woman. They're, you don't have to be this overly masculine man, but you definitely don't want to be an overly feminine man. That is not what you want. All right. And I don't care what any of these ladies say. They can all say, some of them can say, oh, I like a feminine guy or a more sensitive guy. To a degree, they want a guy who can be that in a given moment, but they don't want somebody like that all the time. But let's continue.
If men had the space to really be themselves and not be pressured into thinking that they're gay or soft or, whatever it may be, I feel like if we didn't have that type of thought about men being gay or anything, then men would be more softer, they would be more in tune with their feelings, and they would be just better people.
Do you think toxic masculinity is more likely to come from an alpha or beta male?
Alpha.
I think it can come from both, honestly. Maybe probably a beta. Maybe an alpha. I don't know exactly. I don't know.
What is the difference between alpha and beta males?
I think alpha is someone who would kind of be considered a leader. And I think a lot of the time that carries a bad rep, but I don't personally think that it is. So.
Can toxic masculinity exist without toxic femininity?
No, they go hand in hand.
So then why don't we just call it toxic behavior?
Ooh, that's a
good one.
It's definitely it's just toxic behavior on both halves.
What does toxic femininity look like?
You girls know. You know what you do. I'm just saying. There's girls know what they're doing. If you ever think that a girl is innocent, you're probably wrong.
Oh, yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Bitchiness, for sure.
For sure.
So then why are there some women who are proud of being bitches?
I have no idea.
I would say I kind of am one of those girls.
So you're toxically feminine.
Yeah, we're toxic.
I'd say it's definitely helped me in the world. I'd say I used to let men walk all over me, and now being a bitch to men has definitely helped me put them in their place and be able to show them that I am an equal partner,
Why would you have to be a bitch in order to show men that you're an equal partner?
I guess it's the type of men that I go for.
Well, I'm saying, isn't there a difference between having healthy boundaries and just having a bad attitude?
Yes, there's definitely a difference for sure.
For me, bitchiness is more about being assertive.
Yeah.
Why is there so much media attention exposing the flawed nature and behavior of men, but not also the flawed nature and behavior of women?
Because in this day of age, women like to be victims. I am a strong believer in that, and I feel bad for a lot of guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's all about how you talk to any girl and she'll say her ex is a narcissist. Not every guy walking this earth is a narcissist. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in that.
I would say maybe that has to do with the algorithm in your phone or what you're searching up or what they promote to you. When I go on my YouTube, I see a lot of that, a lot of downplaying men, a lot of downplaying what we do or what we provide, a lot of trying to uplift women. Not to say that they shouldn't be uplifted, but to me, it's a matter of why are we bringing men down and not uplifting men just like we're uplifting women.
Are women more attracted to nice guys or bad boys?
Bad boys.
Bad boys. Bad boys.
Bad boys.
So then why should men care about what women want?
They shouldn't, but it's just like women care about what men want. Like
We do.
No one should care, but we do. It's just human nature.
Men need women, women need men.
If men and women needed each other, why do gay people exist?
Okay, aside from that.
Okay, yeah. Apart from that,
Why do women complain about toxic masculinity when women enable that behavior by choosing to date bad boys?
Oh.
Again, victimizing themselves. You guys just love being the victim.
I couldn't even say, man. Like, you guys are perpetuating that stuff, you know? Like, you choose to be with this guy that's gonna fuck on other females, excuse my language, or go do some other stuff behind your backs, be cheating on you and stuff. Then you got the nice guy over here, and you don't give him no opportunity, and then eventually that turns him into that. Now he's looking at it like, all right, for me to even compete, I gotta treat you like that.
Hold up. I have to comment on what he just said. Guys, I know personal good friend of mine. He was a nice guy. You know, every woman he was with, he put her on a pedestal, did everything. They all cheated on him. He said, F that. I'm going to start treating these chicks like they treat me. Now he can't get them off of him. They beating his door down, man. And hey, it's just how it goes, man. It's just how it goes. Let's continue.
Women often are really, really insecure. Like, we like to project our insecurities. So a lot of the time, the loudest and proudest girl out there is definitely the one that has, some mental issues and insecurities. That's
This
what
girl
I'd say.
right here.
Why is it when a woman doesn't have a man, she often has to take on a masculine role, but when a man doesn't have a woman, he doesn't necessarily have to take on a feminine role?
That was a good question.
That's too good a question for me to answer personally.
I just think women like are more like apt to be more manly than
And independent.
like it's okay for a woman to be more like manly than it is for a man to be like feminine. I
Yeah.
think. I just feel like people think that, even though it
That's the
shouldn't be
natural.
true.
That's a normal thing for us, is to go through hardships, to earn your scars and to earn your pain. And then from that, you become the man that you are. And then with women, it's not necessarily the same thing. You can be independent and then work on yourself and stuff, but you usually develop, again, those same scars. And then that puts a coating on you. And then that makes it more difficult when you try and get into a relationship, because now you feel like you have to do this stuff for yourself instead of being able to let the person you'll be with do it for you.
When a woman doesn't have a man to take care of her and provide for her, she has to do it for herself, and that's considered being more masculine.
Well, wouldn't that prove that masculinity is more essential for survival than femininity?
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
I had never thought about that, so it's all right.
And if that's true, why is masculinity seen as toxic?
Masculinity is vital for society to continue existing.
Wouldn't that mean that the man couldn't survive without the woman though? Because we could do the man and woman part, but a man could only do the man part.
Well, right, but I'm just saying the man doesn't necessarily have to take on a more feminine role because he can survive doing the man part. Just stay that way.
They could survive, but they're not doing too well. They're not doing too hot. Have you seen a single man's apartment? I have many times.
Men are, well, it's a fact, it's a known fact. Men are physically more capable than women. They are stronger. So I think some of the roles that come not only in dating but also marriage, like things that happen around the house, the toilet breaks, I'm not fixing it. I hope a man does. No offense. I will definitely do the cleaning because that's just, I don't know. You're probably asking the wrong person about this.
Very
Why
traditional
do women
lady.
often attack a man's masculinity when they don't get what they want?
I think that's an insecurity thing. Like, all right, you're not going to bend to my will, or I'm going to attack this about you. But I feel like both genders do that, so.
Isn't that hitting below the belt?
Yes.
A lot of the time when we think about men who are masculine, it's just them being, it's like them knowing who they are. And I feel like if you're insecure and you're around, even in friendships, if you're around someone who's so strong in who they are, you're definitely going to be threatened by that. And so that's probably why a lot of females attack men for that, I'd say.
Guys, we gonna cut that there. Only a couple minutes left of the video. It will be linked down below if you would like to finish it. Another great conversation on It's Complicated channel, man. They got into it. This phrase, toxic, just toxic as a word, has been floating around as an adjective for the last few years, and it's starting to be overused and overblown. You know, anything people does, oh, you're being toxic. They're toxic. Everything is toxic. So we're talking about toxic masculinity here, and in this conversation, if you watched how it went, a lot of people at the beginning of the conversation had typically a more negative viewpoint on toxic masculinity, but by the time we got to the end, it was looking like toxic masculinity was essential for survival. It was looking like toxic masculinity has its purpose in this world. I don't think if you're gonna call someone or someone's actions being toxic masculine or toxic masculinity, I think you got to use that word, you know, sparingly. You can't just throw it around all the time. Just because a guy gets a little bit aggressive doesn't mean he's being toxic masculine. Just because, you know, he's assertive or takes charges, it doesn't necessarily mean they're toxic. You know, somebody's personality could just be a more, you know, type A, take the lead type of person. That doesn't make them necessarily a toxic person or a bad person. Because I know guys that are very, you know, just out there, bravado, like, you know, that a lot of people consider an alpha male, or nowadays they'd be toxic masculine. But these guys here, some of the sweetest guys I've ever met, some of the nicest guys I've ever met, they'll give you the shirt off their back. They'll help you with anything you need. They'll protect you. They'll do whatever. You know, those are the kind of guys that you should want to be around. You want to be around a guy who's frail and overly sensitive, and, you know, anything you say to him, he takes to heart. He can't take a joke. You can't have fun with him. Like, you don't want that trait in a guy, man. You don't want all those traits in a guy all the time. Like I said, there's a time and a place to let your emotions out, to be sensitive, all of that. But I do personally believe, this is just me, you know, a lot of people would disagree with me, and I don't knock you if you do. But as a man, I think a man needs to pick and choose where to lay his emotions out, because as men, people look at us to be the rocks, to be the strong ones, to be the ones to lean on. So if my girl's having an issue, I want her to feel comfortable leaning on me, let me know what's up, coming to me for help. Me not laying my emotions, and every time I'm sad and upset and hurt, me not doing that all the time is going to make her feel comfortable to come to me. Because if I'm doing that all the time, she's not gonna feel comfortable coming to me. She's gonna feel like, oh, this person's unstable. They're not a rock. They can't deal with things. They aren't in control of their emotions. And I think men should definitely be in control of their emotions. Now, I could just be going off the rails here. I could be talking crazy on the side of my neck. You let me know. But guys, I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Fun as usual. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. That's my social medias right there. Follow me on TikTok, only if you want to. I will be back.
That's right, so. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post, the same now, I've been humble too long, yeah.